Hi guys, so Nigel Farage is quitting politics. Hurrah! Spoilers, not really. So let's hear what he had to say about him standing down as leader of Reform UK. Now we have to remember that Nigel Farage built a career on getting the UK out of the European Union. And he sees what's happened now as a victory, as a success. But let's hear what he had to say himself.
But on reflecting back over nearly 30 years, the issue that got me into politics, and if it hadn't been for this, I would never have even stood for local council, was our membership of the European Union and the fact that the entirety of our political class and then media class were all in favour of continued membership.
Really? You could say, I think it's a stretch to say that the Conservative Party were supportive of remaining in the European Union. Lukewarm support, and we've seen the result of that. The Labour Party were all over the place, and there are still people within the Labour Party who still think it was a good idea to leave. But the media, the Sun, the Daily Mail, the Express, the BBC itself, the BBC were never criticising Brexit. They had you on almost on a daily basis. You can't say that the media as a whole, or even a large section of the media, was pro-European or pro-Remain. It was not the case. You may find the odd newspaper, yes, that was, but that's not an example you can hold up to say that the media was supportive of remaining on the European Union.
That became my life's goal, and it took over the best part of 3 decades of my life. We've done it. We've achieved it. And for me, I feel my political career, in the sense of actively leading a political party, fighting election campaigns, such as ones that are coming up in May this year, I think now's the moment for me to say, look, I have done it.
I have done it. I have destroyed pretty much the United Kingdom. I have destroyed people's livelihoods, and in some cases people's lives. As I've said before, Nigel will be perfectly fine. Nigel has not gone out to meet with the fishermen who are suffering at the moment because they can't sell their fish or are struggling to sell it into the EU. Why isn't he going out and explaining the benefits of Brexit to these people? Why isn't he meeting them, even if he can't, if he has to remain under lockdown? Do Zoom calls with them, explain how things are going to improve. Maybe he can give them some advice on how to fill out the paperwork that he campaigned for. Why isn't he meeting with the business owners who are downsizing, or the business owners that are moving some of their operations to the European Union because of Brexit? He's left these people high and dry. He lied to these people. He sold them the snake oil. And now he's saying, now I have to go. I have to move on and do something else. I'm not going to be here to pick up the pieces. You have to pick up the pieces. I created the mess, and you have to fix it. You have to clean it up. He is the embodiment of Brexit. 30 years of lies, pouring poison into the ears of the public, convincing them that there is an El Dorado beyond the hill, and then convincing them to climb that hill, to climb that mountain, and on the other side there is a precipice. And telling them, jump into that precipice, you'll get to the sunlit uplands that way. While he stands, 30 miles behind in his luxury home, still living off the European taxpayer. Someone who railed against the European Union, but never gave any of the money back. Never said, no, I'm not going to accept this dirty money. No. He was fully willing to accept the money, and even £2 million in expenses. A charlatan, a crook, but don't worry, he will be perfectly fine. The people who are suffering the consequences of Brexit, they won't, but he will. It's always been about that. It's always been about him being okay and the other people suffering. He doesn't care about the consequences of Brexit. He never has. It's about persona. It's about empowering his position in the media. Called on the BBC on a daily basis almost, on Newsnight almost every night. Called on to Sky News in Australia, Sky News in other parts of the world. Called on to speak on Fox News in America. Meeting the President of the United States. Being hailed as a hero in the UK. And now, when all the proverbial has hit the fan, where is he? Running away. That's what he's good at. Running away. Hiding. Avoiding the reality that he has created for others. I've said this before about Brexiteers. Brexiteers are the types of people who will not just set fire to their own homes, but they'll set fire to your home as well. And if you get angry, they'll become angry because you're angry. They say, shouldn't you be happy that your home is burning down? You'll be able to build a new home. You should be thanking me for burning down your home.
Yes, in some ways, it's a repeat of what I said in 2016 when I said, I want my life back. So
you want your life back. He wanted his life back. You know, he's done all this damage, and there's a lot of work. You know, it took a lot of effort to do all this damage. You know, you get tired pouring all that poison into all those ears. It takes time and effort to pour all that poison. Now he wants his life back. Do you think, Nigel, that the fishermen would like to have their life back? Their lives back? Do you think that the people who've been laid off and are now on universal credit because of Brexit, do you think they would like to have their lives back? Do you think they would like to be able to reset this disaster? Do you think they would like to be able to go back to before 2016 and speak to themselves back then and say, no, don't vote for this. Don't listen to the likes of Nigel Farage. Don't listen to other Brexiteers like Boris Johnson or Jacob Rees-Mogg, because they don't have your interests at heart. They only have their own interests at heart. They've only ever had their own interests at heart. About making some money on the side while lying on TV, convincing people that their lives will get better when they know full well that those lives would get worse.
Before this election campaign starts for May, now is the minute, the right moment for me to say that I'm not going to go on as leader of Reform UK. I support everything it stands for, and whilst I won't have any executive control or responsibility, I'm quite happy to have an honorary position within the party, and that indeed is what I'll do. And I'll hand the leadership over to Richard Tice. And I hope, Richard, you know what you're taking on. I think he does, because he saw it at first hand as chairman of the Brexit Party. But leading a political party, leading one that challenges the establishment.
Challenges the establishment. It is the establishment. You received money from billionaires. You were propped up by the media. How is that not the establishment? He plays the character of the guy down the pub. The bit of a lad. The ordinary man on the street. But he's anything but that. Privately educated. You know, born into cash, born into money. He's a charlatan. It's a facade. And unfortunately, many people will continue to just see the facade and not see what's beneath.
It really is a 7-day-a-week job, and you find, huge sections of the media really vehemently opposed to you. I mean, they say things, they write things they just wouldn't do about people in the Labour and Conservative Party. So, Richard.
Well, until recently, we could say the Conservative Party wouldn't be standing in front of posters, breaking point pollsters, using the issue of immigration. There was not really an issue that for the British people in the run-up to Brexit, but using that, fueling it, turning it into a toxic issue to convince ordinary people to be afraid of someone else who has no power. Convincing people who have no power to be afraid of others who have no power. Never to question the newspaper who's telling you to be afraid of the poor people who are coming across the boat coming across the ocean or the sea in a rubber boat. Always be afraid of them. Never be afraid of the people who are telling you. Never question what you're being told. Just lap it up. So Nigel Farage is going to quit as leader, but he's not going to quit Reform UK completely. He's going to stay hovering in the background. He doesn't want to give up all of this attention. It's about attention at the end of the day. But he doesn't want the negative attention. He knows that the longer he stays in the limelight, the more questions he'll have to answer, particularly about Brexit. Why are the fishermen suffering when you told them everything would be good? You can't continue just to say that it's Boris Johnson's fault because you supported it. You campaigned for it. He's trying to wash his hands of Brexit. And he has not, I haven't seen him doing any interviews recently where he's been questioned about what he campaigned for. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?